What deck are you playing? What's the name of your deck? What's the name of my deck? What? What are you playing today? What? I'm playing Watts today. W-A-T-T-S. First the Watts. We are playing 3 Watt Cobra. This by itself is 4800 damage. Then we are playing 2 Watt Tuner to either search with the Watt Cobra or to use with another Watt monster. Watt Giraffe can attack directly as well. And if it inflicts battle damage to our opponent, they cannot activate any cards or effects until the end of the turn. Then we are playing 3 Watt Squirrel. This can attack twice, and it negates the effects of any monster it battled after damage calculation, and this includes in the graveyard. Then 3 Watt Kingdom. Watt Kingdom is great because it gives you another name and it special summons any Watt from the deck. You can target a Watt monster you control and then special summon another Watt monster from your deck, and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of monsters that activate when they are normal or special summoned if they are in the same column as this card or any Watt monster you control. There are some really funny matchups where, for example, against Adignistas, you can place Watt Kingdom and Watt monsters under the extra monster zones, and they are locked out of most of their great effects. Then we are playing 3 Watt Train. This can search up to 6 cards. You will never search 6 with this, but it searches Watt cards with different names equal to the number of thunder monsters with different names that you control. So technically it could search 6 cards, and not the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from the grave to special summon as many Watt monsters as possible from your hand. This is really, really good. And these are all the Watt cards. Because we want to give our opponent light monsters, we are playing 3 Nibiru, because this is a great hand trap and it gives them a light monster. 3 Thunder King, the Lightning Strike Kaiju, because this is a light monster as well. 3 Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, both of these are on 3300 attack. And 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber isn't that great because it destroys, and some decks like to be destroyed this format. Also, you can Ash this, so sometimes just opening 1 Kaiju is better than opening Slumber. But Slumber gives you a monster as well, and it's recursion, because you can banish it from the graveyard to add a Kaiju. It's a great card, but just opening a Kaiju is sometimes better. Then, the MVP spell in this deck, we are playing 3 Leeching the Light. Leeching the Light allows us to target a light monster our opponent controls, and then all monsters we control gain attack equal to the attack of that monster. This means that if we give our opponent just any light kaiju, we can boost everything on our side of the field by 3300 attack. It's really, really good. Because we want to open this easier, we are playing 2 Trust. Trust could also add us a Change of Heart from the deck to the hand. And for the last staples, we are playing 3 Joel just to equal the playing field, and 3 Imperm because just opening Nib is sometimes not enough. In the extra deck, we are playing 2 of the already mentioned Watt Kyuki. This can attack directly, and if it inflicted battle damage to our opponent, it can special summon another Watt Synchro monster from our extra deck. Because of that, we are playing 2 Watt Chimera. This can attack directly as well, and if it inflicted battle damage to our opponent, it can stack 1 random card from their hand to the top of the deck. For the links, we are playing a Linguribo, a Nightmare Phoenix, a Geonator Transverser, a Pit Knight Early, a Pit Knight Philly, a BLS, Soldier of Chaos. You can make this with a Kaiju you control to have it gain its additional effect. And for the Xyz, we are playing a Dweller, a Bagushka, a Silent Honor Arc, because this is kind of nice to make Zeus, and a Typhon. I'll be frank with you, you don't need anything in the extra deck except the Watt Synchro monsters. Everything else is optional. If you want to get it, you can get it, but you really don't have to get cards like Typhon, for example. So how does Watt OTK? One of the easiest ways to OTK in Watt is to either give your opponent a really big Nibiru token or a light kaiju, and then use Leeching the Light to boost the attack of all of your monsters equal to the attack of an opponent's light monster. Let's just go through one example. In this example, I give my opponent a Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, summon Watt Cobra, and then I will activate Leeching the Light to boost my Watt Cobra to 4300 attack. Watt Cobra can attack directly, and if it inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I can add any Watt monster from my deck to their hand. I will swing directly for 4300 damage with What Cobra, and then I will add What Tuna from my deck to the hand. What Tuna can special summon itself if a monster inflicted battle damage, and it can attack directly as well. After it inflicted battle damage, I can synchro summon with What monsters from my hand or field. I will attack directly with What Tuna, and then I will use its effect to synchro summon and send these two to the graveyard. I will synchro summon a What Kyuki. This can attack directly as well, and if it inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I can special summon a synchro monster from my extra deck, but I have to shuffle a Tuna What monster from my graveyard and a non-Tuna What monster from my field back into the deck. I will swing for 1600 and I will shuffle both What Tuna and What Kyuki back into the deck to summon What Chimera. Then I will attack with What Chimera for game. What Chimera can also stack one card from my opponent's hand to the top of their deck if it inflicts battle damage. Yeah, I hope you liked the deck. I played it quite much over the last few months and weeks and did get some decent results with it. I 2-0'd in a tournament recently, B-Trooper, Trap Tricks and Trickstars, but I gotta be honest, it definitely isn't a secret tier 1 meta threat, so I got 2-0'd by Labyrinth, even though it was pretty close, and I lost against Runix. As I said, I had a lot of fun with this deck because it's something different. Not many blind second decks in this day and age, and it's fun to just normal summon What Cobra and swing for 4800 damage, just without it being boosted even. If you have any suggestions for other decks, then please write them in the comments. This deck, for example, was a suggestion of a viewer, and I thank you very much. Other than that, you can play in the side deck still the good old What Hopper lock. This is okay against some decks. For some reason, Kashtira kinda struggles to out this, but it's not great in any other matchup. Yeah, that's like the main problem this thing has is that you can get 2 hoppers on field if you go first uninterrupted quite easily, but if you go second and you just like summon 1 hopper and try to activate Kingdom to summon another What monster, then they can still bounce the hopper. It's really not great. Like if they just hit whatever they got on the first hopper, then you're dead pretty much. But it's funny, you can play this in the side deck, I do as well. And yeah, those were my final words for the What deck, and I'll see you in the next video.